Bienvenido al día. Soy Gerardo Chagolla y hoy nos encontramos enfrente del negocio The Wrestling Guy Store, aquí en Los Ángeles, California. Vamos a explorarlo. This is Gerardo Chagolla and I'm with
David Gomez.
David. What's your title here?
I am the owner of the Wrestling Guy Store.
Perfect. Tell me the history of the Wrestling Guy Store first.
So we've been here 12 years. We started in a swap meet about 20 to 21 years ago. We just had a couple shirts that we wanted to get rid of some wrestling shirts, and never thought we'd still be here 21 years later and in a store.
All right, and we're back. I'm with, what's your name, sir?
Gerardo Gomez.
And what's your affiliation with the Wrestling Guy Store?
I'm the son of the owner.
Perfect. So wrestling runs deep in your blood. Tell me, what is your favorite wrestling memory growing up?
I would say my favorite wrestling memory is probably wrestling with my brother and my sister. We used to wrestle all the time. We would go to my grandparents' room and we would be wrestling in there. I remember specifically one memory. I kicked my brother's tooth out, sweet chin music to the face, and it just went flying right out of his mouth.
The best thing I can say about the store is that the smile we bring to the fans. Just like today, we have a couple meet and greets, and seeing, for me personally, we have Demolition here, who I was a big fan of as a kid. And then we have Baron Corbin, who I got to meet in 2019 at a WWE show. And I remember inviting him to the store, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, next time I'm in LA, and it comes full circle. But my best memory of the store is my best friend, Alfred. His son loved Rey Mysterio, and I remember that I told him when he told me about it, I said, one day I'm gonna have Rey Mysterio here, and I got to do it. And unfortunately, my friend Alfred's not here anymore, but I got to make his dream come true and his son's dream come true by getting to meet his favorite wrestler of all time, which was Rey.
Yeah. And tell me, what does wrestling mean to you as a Latino?
Well, I'm learning more as I got older, because as a kid, when you would watch WWF, the only real Latino was on it was Tito Santana.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about Lucha Libre.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older and I got the store, I found out more about Lucha Libre. And I didn't know the history of it as much, and I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now.
Yes.
And being in a Latino area like Huntington Park, the love and adoration that fans have for wrestling is incredible.
How important is Lucha Libre to the Latino community? How important is it to you?
Pretty well, traditionally. And every time when I meet Latino talents and Spanish talents, they feel very humble and, emotional when we acknowledge them in Spanish. Because I try to admire Tito Santana's, promos when he would do it in English or Spanish. When Mean Gene would say, "Garage is all, Gino," but it would say, "En español, por favor." Then he would say, "Arriba."
As a Latino watching wrestling, I think it's kind of cool to see how many of us there are in wrestling. You got Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, Eddie Guerrero. You got a bunch of wrestlers, and it's kind of cool to see them, especially all the stuff that they can do. I mean, look at Rey Mysterio; he's so popular for being a Latino, and it's really nice, to see how we're represented in the wrestling community.
And we're back here at the wrestling store. Please go ahead and tell us what we're looking at.
Right now, we're looking at the basic figures. These are usually $14.99. These are more like the easily movable figures if you really want to get them.
Which is the best seller?
The best seller, probably the Cody and the Roman. Oh, and Stone Cold, of course. Everybody comes in for Stone Cold. The other guys kind of just sit here. They're here. That's it. These are the better figures between the basics. They're usually $24.99. These are the better ones. They're a little more flexible, they come with more clothing, more items, stuff to change them around.
Let me ask you something. Say a 6-year-old kid walks in and he's like, Daddy, I want a real nice wrestling belt. Do you guys have that here?
Yeah, we carry belts. We carry the toy belts. We carry the replica belts. Sometimes we don't have the replica belts. You can ask us can you guys order one? We could try and see, and then you can put like a down payment, or you can just pay it in full. We'll try to get it in for you. Got all the different shirts here. You know, you got your Chelsea, you got these, you got Jey Uso. Now these sell a lot.
Which one sells the most between these?
Honestly, I would probably say this one. People love the Yeet shirts. They love the glasses too. See, now we have another one of our Latino wrestlers right here, Penta. He's actually been in the store before. He's over there on the top, on the roof. He's up there.
Yeah, tell us about these ceiling tiles. All of them I've noticed, like Rikishi, they all have a little significance. Tell me about the artist. Tell me what the significance is and what else is there to know.
So these were, so the ones in the Sharpie, like black and the white with like the green and the different colors, they were actually made by the same person who made the replicas up there, the little styrofoam ones.
Yeah.
He drew them, but sadly he moved, so we can't really get him to draw them anymore. So now we have a different artist who drew the Rikishi, which is actually like kind of like a sticker that you put on there. And these are just like a way to show like who's been here, who's like how many wrestlers we got in here. So that's what they kind of like represent in the store.
Please introduce yourself to everybody that's listening.
Yeah, I'm a man of a few names. A lot of people are here today to see me because I'm Baron Corbin, or formerly known as Baron Corbin with WWE. I was with WWE about 13 years. My real name's Tom, and so now I'm also exploring some other wrestling stuff, so I also go by Bishop Dyer. So there's a few names for me out there.
Can you tell us where we are? I mean, there's a big backdrop behind us, but can you just tell us where we are and what you're doing here?
Yeah, I'm at the Wrestling Guy store. He brought me out to sign some autographs, action figures. We can see the collection of pictures of me over there on the table, and just interacting with the fans and hanging out with them. Because, when you're part of WWE, it's hard to connect with them. It's very tight-knit. Their fans aren't backstage. You have to go to, like, different events that WWE offers, like Access or things like that, to interact with your favorite superstars. Yeah. So, when they reach out to come and do things like this, it's really neat because you get that intimate reaction with your fans. They can tell you, their favorite things that you did over the years on TV and pay-per-views, or your favorite opponents. They get to ask questions and get a real answer too. I've had people come in and say, who was your favorite person to wrestle? What was your favorite character you did? Those kind of things. And you're getting to answer that, where on they'll ask them on social media, and it's so hard to keep up with stuff like that. And interactions, you're getting, thousands of different questions and things like that all the time. And it doesn't always give the authentic answer when you're limited to, an amount of characters or something like that. So when you're here, I can have a conversation with different people who've watched me over the years. And it makes me, proud of the things I've done. And it's humbling to have kids come in and say, I grew up watching you, or, you were my favorite when you did this, like that. That's like really cool. And to know that things I've done in my life have impacted other people's lives.
He signed the Intercontinental belt because he had it.
Yep. And you show my camera the belt. Show
right now that you yep.
I like it. Yeah. You guys want to be wrestlers when you grow up?
And yeah.
What would I used to, full disclosure, I used to wrestle in high school, and my name was Jerome the Janitor. So what would your, that's embarrassing. What would your name be?
Maybe just my initials, SJG.
That's JG. What about you, Abel? You don't want to be a Jerome the Janitor?
Park. My YouTube channel is Major Extreme Wrestling. I post figure matches, and I have any superstar you could think of, and one of the best of the best. And yeah.
So, for those that don't know, because there's a few people out there that are ignorant to the fact, but you guys are wrestlers, right? Can you tell us what wrestling means to you and then in the community here at Huntington Park?
Well, I don't know about Huntington Park, but we were here years and years ago. Mm-hmm. We're both retired and have been for a number of years, but we were out in the Los Angeles and California area many, many times. Mm-hmm. And it's great because the fans come out and see us and tell us old stories and memories, and it's just reminiscing about things we did in the past.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it.
Yeah. What about you, sir? What does wrestling mean to you?
Well, We were just talking to a couple of the fans, and we've been together for over 36 years. So, back in our early days, you really couldn't talk to a lot of the fans, and now we're doing a lot of these things, and we get to shake hands with everybody, and they tell us all the old stories about us in the ring that we can't remember.
You can't remember.
So yeah, it's we're the luckiest guys in the world, still doing this.
Yeah.
This is what we look like in the younger days.
You guys get that?
A little bit different nowadays, but yeah, we've had the greatest life ever.
It's been an honor and privilege of meeting my most favorite tag team, Demolition. I told Demolition, I'm a Jesse Ventura pal. You better believe it, pal. And I finally got the privilege of meeting the world's tag team in the wrestling industry, I would say. Yeah.
Awesome. Before we end it, can I ask you for a favor?
Yeah.
You said you were brushing up on your Spanish. Can you sign off for us, looking at the camera?
Yeah, I can.
In Spanish.
Yeah.
Al dia, Titan TV. Tech TV.
Al dia. That's your...
That's our bar.
All right, so what do we want to say?
Just say your name and say this is Al dia, Titan TV.
Yo soy Baron Corbin, Al dia, Titan TV.
Al Dia Time TV.
Al dia TV.
Titan TV.
Right?
I did Titan TV.
Hell, and Demolition.
Demolition.